French are on the sea, says the Shan Van Book. The French are on the sea, says the Shan Van Book. Oh, the French are in the bay, they'll be here without delay, and the orange will decay, says the Shan Van Book. And their camp it will be where, says the Shan Van Book. Their camp it will be where, says the Shan Van Book. On the Curragh of Kildare, and the boys will all be there, with our pikes in good repair, says the Shan Van Book. Then what will the yeomen do, says the Shan Van Book. What will the yeomen do, says the Shan Van Book. What will the yeomen do, but throw off the red and blue, and swear that they'll be true, says the Shan Van Book.
I travel far over the ocean to a land that is wondrous and fair. But of my Dublin Bay I am dreaming, for my heart it will always be there. When shadows of evening are falling and the lights of the city are gay, sure the light that I see in my memory are shining on my Dublin Bay. I have riches and rings on my fingers, but my loneliness I can't disguise. How I long for the love life that lingers in the sunshine of soft Irish eyes.
Americans and Americans to greet the Cavan and Kerry teams as they walk onto the field. An early arrival was #1 citizen of New York, Mayor-born Mayor Bill O'Dwyer, who was received in his box by Mr. Dan O'Rourke, President of the GAA, Paddy O'Keefe, and Frank McCart. The New York police band, the swirl of the kilts and the parade, they were something new to most people present. And following these star musicians came the men of Breathnach, led by John Joe O'Reilly, and Ginny Line leading the pride of the kingdom, two fine bodies of men, cognizant of the fact that they were making history. And as I look down on this scene of splendor, the crowd and team do honor to the national anthem. Famous Jim Farley is over there, but the stage is set. Mayor O'Dwyer throws in the ball and the game is on. Kavanagh first to attack, but Kerry settled down better in the early stages, and after a short bout in the defense, they go into the attack. Paddy Kennedy catches a nice one. He sends it across the goal mouth. Garvey is in position, but as he crashes to the net, the whistle goes to give him a free.
Certain newspapers have been very persistent in looking for my answer to Mr. Churchill's recent broadcast. I know the kind of answer I am expected to make. I know the answer that first springs to the lips of every man of Irish blood who heard or read that speech, no matter in what circumstances or in what part of the world he found himself. I know the reply I would have given a quarter of a century ago. But I have deliberately decided that this is not the reply I shall make tonight. I shall strive not to be guilty of adding any fuel to the flames of hatred and passion, which, if continued to be fed, promise to burn up whatever is left by the war of decent human feeling in Europe. Allowances can be made for Mr. Churchill's statement, however unworthy, in the first flush of his victory. No such excuse can be found for me in this quieter atmosphere. There are, however, some things which it is my duty to say, some things which it is essential to say. I shall try to say them as dispassionately as I can. Mr. Churchill makes it clear that in certain circumstances he would have violated our neutrality and that he would justify his action by Britain's necessity. It seems strange to me that Mr. Churchill does not see that this, if accepted, would mean that Britain's necessity would become a moral code, and that when this necessity was sufficiently great, other people's rights were not to count. It is quite true that other great powers believe in this same code in their own regard and have behaved in accordance with it. That is precisely why we have the disastrous successions of wars. World War #1, World War #2, and shall it be World War #3. Surely Mr. Churchill must see that if his contention be admitted in our regard, a like justification can be framed for similar acts of aggression elsewhere, and no small nation joining a great power.
Widow, I live in a spot in Dublin, they call it the Coombe. Me shops and me stalls are laid out on the street, and me palace consists of one room. I sell apples and oranges, nuts and split peas, bananas and sugar stick sweets. On Saturday night I sell second-hand clothes from the floor of me stall on the streets. You may travel from Clare to the county Kildare, from Francis Street on to Macroom. But where would you see a fine widow like me, Biddy Mulligan, the pride of the Coombe? I sell fish on a Friday, set out on a board, the finest you'd find in the say. But the best is me herdins, fine Dublin Bay herdins, there's herdins for dinner today. I have a son Mick, and he's great on the flute, he plays in the Longford Street band. It would do your heart good to see him march out on a Sunday for Dollymount Strand. You may travel from Clare to the county Kildare, from Francis Street on to Macroom. But where would you see a fine widow like me, Biddy Mulligan, the pride of the Coombe?
Well, you see, the good news is that according to the Daily Mail, the world's stock market soared yesterday, powered by a wave of confidence that the international recession is ending. From London to Sydney, investors scrambled to buy, buoyed up by swift victory in the Gulf and the prospect of a post-war boom. That's a little bit of good news. Well, I thought I'd cheer you up anyway. It's in the Daily Mail. It can't possibly be wrong. But back home, as you heard, Caroline, the newspapers are at it in no mean way today. Well, it's about sex, you see. It's always about sex, and it's like pressing the red button, as I keep on reminding you. On the condoms issue, the Star says, in proposing these changes, the Taoiseach is simply accepting the facts of life. The Catholic Church has every right to protest against the changes. It is a free country. That's the Star. Good morning to you, Patricia Dalton. You are exercised. You are exercised by this decision, are you not?
I am, yes, Gay. I think it's abhorrent. I think boys and girls 16, to me they're only children. They will be totally irresponsible. And I think at the end of the day, we'll see nothing, only twice as many illegitimate children born, apart from the fact that AIDS is rampant and also in venereal disease here in Ireland.
Do you support Charlie Haughey and Fianna Fáil?
I did, unfortunately, yes.
And do you think they've done a dirty trick now on you?
I certainly do.
Nice.
What chance have those children got of growing up right or having children in that when they later on in life?
Well, I suppose, Mrs. Dalton, people would say they have free will and they have their parents' training and their education to back them up and so on, and they have to make decisions.
But listen,
I mean, they're old enough to get married at 16, Mrs. Dalton.
Oh, yes, but many mothers at 16 usually break up. I mean, they're too young, you know that yourself. I don't believe in contraception. I think it's just...
No, that's a...
On the modulation, the whole lot.
Not from it. Shall we see what's on the wireless?
Many thanks and all the best.
Not from it. Shall we see what's on the wireless?
I'm talking here, Tony.